Welcome to First Draft, the show where we take a look at some of the greatest movies never made, where we take a look at some of the early drafts of movies before they hit the silver screen, which more often than not were actually better than the movie we ended up getting. In today's case, Last Action Hero, that's definitely true. Last Action Hero is synonymous with being one of the worst box office bombs of all time. And rightly so. The movie is a pretty convoluted mess. It takes a great premise of a young boy who's been raised on action movies and he gets sucked into that world, and it kind of squanders it. It loses steam about halfway through, and by the end there's just so much going on, and there's so many plot threads going off in all directions that there's really nothing to care about. Well, the movie didn't start out that way. The original script by Zach Penn and Adam Leff was pretty phenomenal. It was the first one they ever wrote. It was a spec script. Zach Penn has gone on to write X-Men 2 and 3, The Incredible Hulk, and he directed a great movie called Incident at Loch Ness. Incident at Loch Ness with Werner Herzog, which you should definitely check out. And Adam Leff, he went on to write Biodome. But this script was pretty fantastic, and the cast that the final movie ended up having is pretty great as well. Everyone would really fit into the role that they were written in the original script. I once read an interview with Zach Penn where he talked about the premiere of Last Action Hero being the nadir, the worst part of his career, because what he was watching was nothing like what he had written. And part of the problem, he thought, was he wrote it as a parody of a Shane Black script, and then the first thing the studio did was they handed it off to Shane Black to rewrite it. His script is much better for a number of reasons. The first one being that there's fewer characters and therefore fewer plot threads. In the movie we ended up getting, the character of Jack Slater, the one Arnold Schwarzenegger plays, he has a variety of nemesises. He has the guy who killed his son. He has the guy with the glass eye, a variety of gangsters. There's a mole in his precinct. And really each one of these characters has their own separate plot line just around the Jack Slater character. The script really streamlines that, and there's the character of his wife who takes the role of Slater's family life. There's his boss, the police, what's it called, commissioner, who kind of takes the professional side of Slater's life, and they all kind of wrap together neatly at the end in a way that the movie we got doesn't, because it just kind of goes off in all kinds of different directions. And another thing that helps focus the story a lot is the original script stayed within the movie world. Extremely Violent was the name of the film within a film in the script, and almost the entire story takes place around the story of the movie within the movie. And the script works better because of that. It has a streamlined kind of a sense of purpose and a sense of pacing, whereas in the film we got, about the third act, around the time the third act is starting, Slater makes it to the real world, and then we have another 20 minutes of the movie to go, and that's part of the problem. That's part of where that movie loses its focus. Which brings me to the ending. In the movie we got, a character from Slater's past was brought back to life, and they have to tussle again on the roof. And I don't know, by that point in the movie, I had already tuned out. But in the script, in the original script, everything tied together. See, in the original movie, the projectionist who gave Danny the ticket to go into the movie world was kind of just a benevolent old man. But in the original script, he was devious and he was cunning, and there was something a little off about him, and that pays off in the end. He turns out to be the protagonist, both in the film within a film and in Danny's world as well, and part of his whole plan was to corrupt Danny using these action movies as a gateway. And it all ties together really nice, and it's a big action-packed climax, whereas the movie we got kind of, by the halfway point, we'd really seen the best it had to offer. So I'm gonna link to this script on our site, and I highly recommend you go check it out, give it a read, especially if you saw Last Action Hero and you were interested in the concept. You thought it had potential, but that the film just never really hit the mark. Well, check out the original script, because the original script, I think, was the movie you were hoping you were going to see.